Hey guys, it's me. Let's fire up the project again, why don't we? So by the time this comes out, it would have been a little bit of time since I uploaded. I opted to take a couple of weeks off. Working on the project pretty much constantly and making a video every 2 days is quite an intense workload for me. So rather than slowing down the uploads, I'd rather just take like a couple weeks. Maybe like take a week not working on the project, not thinking about the project, come back refreshed, start making videos again, and then by the time I upload this I probably will have like 2, 3, 4 videos ready to go, and then I'll just try and resume into the schedule. So that's where I've been, in case you haven't been following my Twitter and you didn't see my post. But I've got some stuff to show off now, so let's take a look. I'm going to load into a file here and I'm going to go straight into battle. So I'm going to enable battle. Now straight away you'll see that I've got a new kind of battle background here. It doesn't really match the prison setting that we were in. This is more for a foresty one. One of the early zones will be a forest. So this is what I've got pretty much. You can see I'm trying to utilize these margins here that I talked about earlier in the dev series, because we've got like a bigger resolution than what Final Fantasies had back in the day. So I didn't want to have the enemies start right from the left and have the players all the way to the right, because there was a lot of distance between them. So yeah, it's basically just some scrappiness on the ground, you know, whatever you find in forest, and I'm alright with it. Maybe it's a little bit noisy, maybe I didn't emulate the depth of a forest that well with the kind of pattern I've got going here, but it's something. Mechanically, I want to talk about this extra menu where if I go to the top here, you can see I generate these extra commands, and this is something that's also pretty common in Final Fantasies and other RPGs like this. They're like almost like the attack command, right? Pretty much every character has one of these. Doesn't cost any resource or anything. I've also got these additional ones that everyone has by default, which gives you a certain amount of control over your character. So right now we are in control of my warrior here. You can see my guys are being slowly beaten up. You can see I've also activated the action time bars of the enemies here, which I don't intend to keep. I just did that for my own kind of debugging. But yeah, you can kind of see how behind the scenes they operate the same way as our players do. Anyway, the first two I'll talk about here is row up and row down. If I go row up and then this guy goes row down, this guy row up, row down, you can see as they take these actions, they're happening so fast that the nameplates are actually overlapping, because the nature of those commands is, unlike the attack, which has like this blinking and then it does the effect and that's the command, for players it's a bit longer. If they were to attack like this, he walks forward, he does the sword slash, does the damage, walks back. That walking forward and walking back is like a standard across all abilities. So if they were to cast spells, they'd walk forward, probably have some like magic circle animation, do the attack, walk back. But in the case of these, they don't do that, because row up and row down, they're actually just adjusting their position on the battlefield. You can see now that I've moved some people forward, some people back. Their positions have all shuffled based on what command I've given, and there will be tactical reasons for this. You know, maybe the most forward characters draw aggro, maybe the furthest back take reduced damage, or at the cost of being unable to use like melee weaponry, close range kind of combat. But yeah, so now that can be changed in battle, and it can be changed at the turn of a cost. So I've got Hyrelia right here, our hero at the top. He's in the back row, so he can't actually go back any further, so we've disabled this. And then I could row him back up. You can see he just does a very quick step forward. Excellent. The last one I've got operating is defend. I haven't done flee yet, because it does act quite a bit differently from how our commands work currently. It's a bit of a special case, but I'll talk about that when I do get it done. The next one's defend, and it's a pretty standard mechanic in these kind of games, so I'm going to go ahead and defend. You can see it doesn't do the walk up, walk back, anything like that. It's kind of special. And what's happened is ZXCV has like a little barrier here denoting that he's defended, and also a little status icon to show he has the defend status. And right now because his action time bar just filled up, we then negate the defend status again because they're ready to act. So defend will only last, so I'll defend on everyone. They're gradually getting their shields, and that only lasts until, you'll see Hyraelian will be the first here, but he will lose the defend status as soon as his turn's ready here. Ding, the status is off. Ideally, I'd probably have an animation change rather than the blue shield, or maybe in addition to the shield. It'd be cool if they kind of brace themselves, in the same way that you'd expect flee when I get that to work. Maybe they turn around and start doing that jog, which is, pretty classic from the series. Yeah, so defend until their next action, they will take reduced damage. It's like either a turn, an easy way to skip a turn, or it's maybe tactical use of drawing aggro and then defending for whatever reason. These are like standardized actions, and they're extra to our command window here. You can see as I go up, we get here, and completely wraps around. So if I'm down here and I hit down, I'm up here as well, and it's all very easy to navigate. So before my guys start completely dying, I'll clean up this fight, because notice how I've shuffled all the rows and stuff around. Woo, they win the fight, they get the experience, they get the rewards. Skip out of that. As I come back here, before I move, there's a bug where now they all face the right after a battle, which I will look into. I just got reminded of that here, which is fine. But as soon as I move, they adjust themselves. I actually didn't want to get into another battle. Luckily, we've got some pretty potent magic on our side, in this test build. But as I go in here, and you probably noticed in battle actually, but their formation, where we originally gave controls for changing forms, it actually all reset into the middle here. And that's intentional, because if you enter a battle and then decide to do some row swaps for that battle for whatever reason, or maybe enemies do abilities that manipulate your rows, we don't want that to remain when the battle ends. I'd rather have it that if you've got a configuration you like, something like that, then until you change the configuration, every battle you go into will be like that. So you don't have to worry about making little temporary changes in battle and then forgetting about it. So now that I've changed all those rows, I go back in, this is our row setup here, and I could continue to move people around. So that's it for this episode. Next one will probably be on Flee. Thanks guys, peace.